Hello and welcome back to another OmniHeroes video. And in this video we have a lot to talk about, so sink in, get a brew, go and pause it, do what you need to do, get some snacks or whatever. I suspect this is going to be a long one, and the reason for that is because there's going to be a couple of new mechanics. We are also going to go through the various different heroes as well that we'll be releasing during the next season, and also a couple of the relics and the sacred beasts that will also be released, as well as some changes to the structure of the game. So first things first, EX heroes and ascension overview. So what are EX heroes? There are 3 new heroes next season. Will be EX heroes. Unique trait: after being upgraded to 9-star, their 1-star synergy point becomes 2-star Valkyrie synergies only. So what does that mean? So we have an example of this in game. So if we jump in, we'll have a look at the hope tree, and the hope tree means that for each one of these that you pick up, it is 10 points to pick up, and so 60 points in total. You get increase the number of Avengers synergy mates in the team by 1. So when you get these new units, the EX heroes that we're going to go through in this video, when you get them up to 9 stars, they get an additional 1 synergy point. So effectively you could run 4 units on a team. Say you've got the new Bastet here, for example. If you have the new Bastet, you only need to run her and 3 other Mystifiers, and you'll get the full 5 Mystifiers synergy as well. So that's something that we need to take into consideration moving forward. Effectively, I believe that they'll be removing this from the hope tree. However, if we have a look on here, there are others. So Dahlia, for example, can be upgraded. So let's first have a look. So ascension, name TBD. So name to be decided. Who knows if that's what it's going to remain as, but I suspect it will do. Some existing heroes can be upgraded into EX heroes: Cleo, Victoria, Hela, Dahlia, Gaia, and Amaterasu as well. So more will be added in future seasons, which just means that you will need to run less of the type of heroes that you want, and you'll be able to combine them not only in seasonal content but in non-seasonal content as well. So say for example, if you ran Dahlia on your 4 Avengers teams, so if you ran Dahlia on, say, a Phantom Avengers team with Janna, Althea, Narissa, and you also ran Cleo, for example, on that team. So you put Dahlia and Cleo in the front slots, and the other units in the back slots, the Avengers units, sorry about that, in the back slots. Then effectively you could have 3. So you could have 3 Doomsdays on the team, I believe that's how it works, or maybe even 4 Doomsdays on the team, and 3 Avengers. Or you can have 5 Avengers and 2 Dooms on the team. So going to be interesting for combos as long as you have the unit above 9-star, it means, and you need to consume a new item ascension source, name not final. So we don't know if that's going to be the actual name, but you will need to consume, as you can see, it looks like the Light Seeker synergy from the non-DD heroes. It looks like we're going to have something very similar to that, but for DD heroes now as well. I think it's going to be very interesting to say the least, and I think it's going to help a lot of people, but also it's going to polarize a lot of people as well. I don't have this unit up to this specific star level, or it costs too much to do. I don't know how it's going to be, but I suspect it's going to be very, very strong. It's going to be a very powerful mechanic, and if you're not going to be using this mechanic, then you are going to be falling behind, and unfortunately that's just the way it is. Again, amount required varies by hero. Acquisition method is not finalized yet, so we don't know how we're going to get this ascension source. We don't know how long it's going to take, but you know, the moment that I can get it, I will get it. So we'll do some testing on that over the course of the next season. It's going to be very, very interesting and new stuff as well. It's not just rehashing the same old content. So here we go. So Azu, if you have not already checked out Azu, Please do. His guides are top notch. They really are. They are top quality guides. He explains everything. He's very literate. If you are illiterate, he also has a YouTube channel. So if you cannot read or cannot be bothered reading, then he goes through the majority of this stuff on his YouTube channel already. It is at Dark Magician. If you put in Dark Magician OMNIHEROES or Dark Magician Omni, he should be one of the first creators to pop up, if not the first creator to pop up. Go check out his channel. I will link him in the description below, and his reviews of all of these new units as well. It's been really, really helpful having somebody alongside me on YouTube to go through things, but he needs more subscribers, so please do go and subscribe for him. It is, just a favour for me. Now, at the start of battle, apply 7 stacks of corrode to all enemies. Each stack deals damage equal to 12% of your team's average attack per turn. All allies regen 35% max HP per turn. Max corrode stacks are increased by +10. Allies gain +500% max HP, so on and so forth. Effective in PvP. So this is on the +1. So say, for example, you're running Bastet, and she had her EX, or she was an EX unit. She had this unlocked. It gave +2 to the Mystifier synergy. Plus then you added Cleo, Victoria, Hela. As another EX unit, you could potentially get up to 7 Mystifiers on a team. Now at the start of battle applies 10 stacks of corrode. That's really, really powerful. Emily already does this. She is really, really good, and she's one of the best non-DD heroes in the game still to this day. But at the start battle applies 10 stacks of corrode, plus if you have Emily on the team as well, then that's going to be 15 stacks of corrode to all enemies right from the start of battle. You're just going to tear through PvP. Each stack deals damage equal to 12% of the team's average attack per turn. All allies regen 50% of their max HP per turn. This is going to be so tanky. These teams are going to be so tanky. Increase the max number of corrode stacks by 20. If you have Tiamat on the team, that will increase to 23%, I believe. 23 stacks as a bare minimum. Increase all allies max HP by 1000% and defense by 100. Defense by 500. And each time corrode is applied, increase zone defense and max HP by 10%. Oh, that's broken. That is going to be absolutely busted. With Guy's passive for the damage reduction, with Tiamat taking no damage, with Tsukiyomi on the team stealing attack and defense from enemies, the Mystifiers are just not going to go down next season. I promise you that. In Season 12, Mystifiers, I think, are probably going to be top dog. But we'll see. We'll see. This is just an example of what the Mystifiers will do at these higher levels, so we'll see. Grants 50% final damage reduction, so effective in PvP. So again, this is very exciting, this EX Heroes and the Ascension overview. It just means we're expanding on PvE gameplay as well as PvP gameplay. We're expanding outside of seasonal content. This is not just locked to seasonal content. It's not just locked to Season 12. This will be available throughout the course of the entirety of the rest of the game. So very, very strong. Now, we do have some more skins as well. So this is, there are several different and various different options. Let me know which one you think looks the best. So for me, personally, I like number 3. The covering of the leg and the half and half is quite good. But I do enjoy number 1, and number 2 is okay. It's all right, but yeah, number 3 for me. And then, so I believe this is Hela. I can't be sure, and I really don't want it to be Hela. I don't want it to be linked to Halloween, but it is what it is. If this is the case, that is the case. It is what it is. Now, I believe this one is Lilith as well. Looks like a school teacher version of Lilith. Maybe she decided to settle down after joining the Omni Guardian. This is quite an interesting design. I do like the concept of this. Wings look very cool, but I think number 2 Yeah, number 2 for me, I think, is probably the my favourite out of those 3. Upcoming skins, just letting us know that these are the concepts for the skins. It looks very interesting, to say the least, and we know we're going to get a Halloween skin as well, so we know whenabouts they are coming out. And the Hope Tree Plus one is going to be removed due to EX hero releases. Good luck on the T12 tome grinding, as well as entirely new team building and meta shift incoming. So if you don't know, probably the best way to grind is using these. So using the synergy marks, getting your synergy marks up to full, and then going ahead, and when you don't look at this is awful. I cannot be bothered. I really cannot be bothered. I mean, 40k and 21k worth of this stuff, and it's just, I don't need it. I don't need it to beat Rift Odyssey. I don't need it to beat Primeval Realm. I've already beaten Primeval Realm. I've already beaten Rift Odyssey. Yeah, it's just, it is a real pain. But, say for example, if we're going to go ahead and claim Soulgate, and then we're going to go ahead and challenge, jump in, as you can see, at the moment, we have the 5 Mystifiers on here, and it only counts towards 5 Mystifiers. During next season, if we have EX, for example, if I have EX Victoria here, then what potentially can happen is Victoria will give +2 to the synergy, so we'd be on 6, and then, for example, if there was another unit in here that also gave a plus, say Wing Zhong, we would then have 7 Avengers on the team. So it's going to be very interesting, which means that in order to get the full 5 Avengers, so for example, we've got the seasonal hero bonus, accessory buffs, sure, but this Avengers team dependency, we need 5 Avengers on the team. Technically, you could achieve that with just these 3 units, and then you could have other units on the team which powered up the rest of your team. For example, like Gaia or Elisha on this team instead, to give you that additional attack boost or whatever you needed. But that would still count towards the Endless Dance. So as you can see, Avengers team dependency is currently 4 of 5, even though there's only 3 units on there. That is what he means by team building and clearing tomes. And there's going to be a massive meta shift. He is not wrong in that there's going to be a huge meta shift, because they're going to be removing the EX versions of this within the Hope Tree, and they're going to be adding it onto heroes as well. So just something to keep in mind moving forward into the next season. Now, we are going to be looking at the new heroes for this season. We do have Dorabella. I think it's Arcane Dorabella. We have like Ascended Bastet. Ascended Bastet and what the Aiushtha as well. So in case you do not know those units here, let me just go ahead and show you. Bastet is the one that's in the mana. Here we go. So this is Bastet. Bastet is already okay. I wouldn't say she's one of the best non-DD units. I would say Emily is better, but she does quite a bit. So ultimate, she calls on a partner to attack all enemies. For 1 stack of corrode the target has, the damage increased by 10% up to 300%. So can do quite high damage, but the lower non-DD stats really hold her back, in my opinion. She just doesn't. She doesn't survive for long enough for this to be effective. Again, the same ability, so increasing the attack based on corrodes. At the start of battle, if the debuff of the enemy team exceeds 30 stacks, including corrode, Bastet and the ally with the highest attack will both ignore shield, which is a really powerful effect, especially for Mystifiers if you want to get the last bits of damage in, because your corrode's not done enough. Very, very strong. So this, when Bastet is deployed, 75% chance to double the number of corrode stacks applied on the enemy. And if we have a look at runes over here, as you can see, I'm just 1 off. Each time Bastet takes action, she has a 100% chance to purify all debuffs from 1 random ally, with 33% chance to purify additional. But if you get her up to full, she purifies 100% from 2 units as well. So just something to keep in mind as we move into these as well. So this is Ascended Bastet. This is the first unit that we are going to see. The information may not represent the final version. I get it. You know, they may make changes based on testing done or whatever. It may be different skin, or not different skin, but different aesthetic, something like that. I suspect that is all done and set, and it is just these skills that they need to test in depth. And I think they will, to be fair. Now, ultimate deals damage to all enemies and applies corrode. We don't know how much corrode it's going to apply. I suspect it's going to be a reasonable amount of corrode, considering the rest of her skills. Skill 2 deals damage to all enemies and applies corrode. So the application of corrode is really important for Mystifiers. Something that I was a bit disappointed about with Tiamat specifically is the fact that she does not apply corrode herself. So all of the additional corrode stacks that she can apply are just going to go to waste. So they're just going to go to waste because you don't have... she's not the one applying them. The same is true with Tsukiyomi. We've had two Mystify units in a row who do not apply corrode. They work with corrode. They increase the corrode stack limit. They steal attack and defense based on the number of corrodes applied to any enemies. But if it's just Tsukiyomi and Tiamat left, you will have no corrode and no way to take advantage of that because they do not apply corrode themselves. It's really important for Mystifiers to apply corrode damage. So the next bit of the passive, or the first passive here, at the start of battle, Ascended Bastet summons the Sacred Cat and Divine Bird, untargetable spirits, which means I believe they do not summon in the extra spot, like units like Sandra, units like Janna, and I guess Madeline. They will all summon units to the extra spot. So if I go ahead and I pop in, jump down here. There we go. So I jump down here and I pop in, where have you got to? Here you are. Sandra, this extra slot becomes available. When deployed, heroes or activated synergies possess summon effects. Summoned creatures in battle will appear in the extra battle area. The problem is, if she's summoning two, she's not going to be able to summon both at the same time. So it may be potentially have to do something like this, and then both of those units here will summon. I don't know if that's correct. They say... it says untargetable, so it just means that your enemies will not be able to attack the slots that you put them in. I don't suspect that you will have to give up a slot in order to power through and use these skills, but we'll have to see. So this is at the start of battle. So I suspect that she'll summon two separate units to her side. They're untargetable, and all summoned units' attacks are ineffective against Bastet, which means that, say for example, Isis is another great example of this. So if we have a look at Isis, wherever it's gone, there we go, and down here. So if we have a look at Isis, she, with her passive, when a hero dies on the battlefield, Isis randomly summons one fallen hero from the battle as a spirit hero. Bastet will not be able to be targeted by this hero. She'll not take any damage from those heroes. The same is true for if Aphrodite were to steal an enemy unit. I suspect it will work the same, but not too sure on that one. Could be wrong, but we also have units like Madeline here, who will summon these dragons, or the drakes. At the start of each round, Madeline summons a drake into an empty-eyed slot. She can summon 6 drakes per battle, but those units will not be able to damage Bastet in any way, shape, or form. So a good note, something to note as well. I don't know how effective that's going to be against Behemoth, and when Behemoth dies, she summons a mammoth. That mammoth is technically classed as a summon because it goes into the summon zone automatically, or the extra slot. That then applies stun. Will that apply stun to Bastet? I don't know. Interesting to think, but we'll find out next season. Each time an ally attacks, the Sacred Cat assists, dealing damage equal to 100% of Bastet's attack. Now, that can be a good thing, and it also can be a very bad thing as well. So you will get assists. So, for example, like Mulan, every time, or not every time, but the majority of the time, when your units attack and you've got Mulan on the field, Mulan will perform an assist, and she will go ahead and do a basic attack against the attacker, applying that burn damage. So, sorry about that. My phone seems to lock itself automatically. It is what it is. Now, I was getting a sip of coffee. That's all I can do. Now, as well. Is this just Bastet's base attack is the question that you've got to ask. Because if it is just Bastet's base attack, are we going to be able to increase that in any way, shape or form? For example, if you have Hela on the team and you have Ophelia on the team, Hela will apply the 100 million base increase to max HP. Ophelia will give 50% of that to attack. Does that count towards Bastet's basic attack? Or Bastet's base level attack? I don't know. We'll have to do some testing with this one. But it does deal 100% of Bastet's attack. If you can max out her attack next season, this is going to be disastrous for everybody. I suspect. Now, passive 2. When the Sacred Cat and Divine Bird are on the battlefield, enemy skills, basic, active, and ultimates can only target one unit. This is broken. This is absolutely broken. The game is built around units attacking multiple enemies. I've always said, the multi-hit, so the attacks all enemies, is the most powerful version of these skills. So the basic, active, and ultimates. For example, Victoria, with her basic skill, basic attack, attacks all enemies. And I've seen her take down 2 or 3 units at a time just using that skill. But now can only target one unit. The game is balanced around units being able to attack more than one target unit. The problem is, who are they going to attack? So, for example, if... I think Zoo mentioned this in his video. If Tiamat is the only unit able to be attacked, and she's only able to be damaged by crits, then Ethereals are the only ones that are going to be able to take Mystifiers down. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. Enemy skills can only target one unit. What a line of text that is going to be. That is crazy. Now, when allies are attacked, the Divine Bird grants 100% crit resistance. So, for example, Tiamat, who has, can only take 90% of damage. So if we take out you, jump into, where have you got to? Can't wait for this skin for Tiamat, by the way. They will be, I suspect they will be dropping another skin for Tiamat next season as well. Where have you got to? Here you are, down here. It's crazy that. So, Tiamat possesses resilient dragon scales. When taking non-crit active attacks, the damage received is converted into an equal amount of healing for herself. If you have her runes, for example. When Tiamat receives healing, 100% of the amount additionally heals all allies. You can see where this is going. Tiamat is the only unit able to be attacked. She doesn't take any damage, reduces crit damage by 100%, she reduces non-crit damage by 90%. You will not be able to kill Tiamat when Bastet is on the field. It's going to be toxic. I really think so. Especially playing into this next part of the passive. When she's deployed, she unleashes Dragon's Might. Additionally, the limit of corrode stacks is increased by 10 for all allies. I think it is her Oath Force passive. Yeah, when Tiamat is deployed, effects that increase the corrode stack limit for all allies are enhanced by an additional 30%. So, yeah, that alongside Bastet here, it's gonna be crazy. I promise you that it's gonna be absolutely mental. Now, passive 3. So for every round the Sacred Cat and Divine Bird remain, the corrode stack limit is increased by plus 15 for all allies. That is no joke. That is really no joke. We've seen how powerful getting 10, 20, 30 stacks of corrode on enemies are in places like Rift Odyssey, where you have access to the Sinful Band, which increases the corrode stack limit by 20. We're already going to be starting out at 20 if you have a team built properly. Plus, then we're going to have an increase of 30% if you've got Tiamat on the team. For all of these corrode stack limits, it's just going to be... It's going to be busted. I tell you that now. This team when I get all of these units up to 9 stars, it's uh, I don't know. I don't know. But I suspect this is going to be at higher levels as well. So this is all maxed out. So this is 15-star Bastet right here. Or at least up to 12 or 13 stars, something like, because this right here will be her Oath Force passive. So PvP and GVG only. After an ally axe, Bastet gains 100% defense and max HP, stacking up to 100 times. Azu mentioned this in his video as well. It is already on Arthur. It's already on Isis, and you know how I feel about those units. Isis, very, very strong. Really does need this passive in order to survive properly, instead of relying on a Monarch synergy. When you put her in a Monarch team, it's just don't go down. She just doesn't die. The longer the fight goes on, the less chances it's going to happen. Same with Arthur. The longer the fight goes on, the less chance Arthur is going to go down. It's just so strong. Now, when Bastet attacks, there is a 25, 50, and 100% chance to double the target's corrode stacks. So it doesn't say here whether it deals damage to all enemies. So she's going to double the number of stacks on all enemies twice. That is going to be so strong. That is going to be so strong. All right, we're up to 25 minutes here. I'm going to pause. I'm going to go and get a drink, and I will be back in a second. There we go. So I am back, and we are going to be looking at another unit now. The reason that I'm doing it in this order, I'm going to show Dorabella last, is because of the release order of these units. So the first unit to be released will be Bastet. The next unit to be released will be Aiushtha, and the unit after that to be released will be Dorabella. Now, I've heard some good things about Dorabella, but I don't know. We'll have to see. The units typically released last will be the most effective units for that season, but we'll see. Ultimate deals damage to backline enemies and applies Bewitch. I don't remember what Bewitch does. I don't think I've heard that one before. Let me check. So we jump into Aiushtha here. I wonder if you'll be able to run these units alongside each other. Will you be able to run Bastet alongside the Ascended Bastet, or will I be able to run this Aiushtha alongside the new Sovereign Aiushtha? I don't know. I think it will be this one. Doesn't say Bewitch anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't say Bewitch anywhere on here. And it's not something that I've heard of before. So it looks to be a new skill. So, yeah, so we've got Confuse, which is reasonably similar. I suspect Bewitch will be to attack other units, for example, on the enemy team. So she bewitches a unit. They may potentially attack each other. I don't know about that, but I've not heard of this skill Bewitch before. Deals damage to all enemies and applies Bewitch. So we're definitely... That's the theme of this particular unit, is to apply Bewitch. I don't know what Bewitch does yet. We'll have to see. So it applies. So passive 1 applies Curse to one random target. How do we proc that? Is that going to be every round? Is that going to be every at the start of battle? Curse is another one of these older passives that we see on a couple of different runes. Let me just see if I can find it. I don't know who would have it. Let's check in Light Seekers, and we jump onto you, jump into runes. So applies pessimism removal. Not you. Oh, right. Hold on. Let me jump into heroes. It's a shame. It is a shame I just can't search, to be honest. Jump into heroes, jump into you, jump into runes. Now I can change. So we know it's not you. I don't think you have one. You don't have one. You have stun. Yep. Ooh, not you. Not you. Not you. It might have been on old DD heroes. Like this sort of stuff. So illusion, curse, I believe, lowers attack. But I don't know who has curse. For the life of me, I can't remember who does. Not you. Do you apply? No, you apply amnesia. No, you're double. Nope. Your increased defense. Stun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I can't remember where. I think it might be Aiushtha. Not Aiushtha. It might be. What's her name? Arcdina. There we go. So it might be Arcdina who has it. Somebody like that does have curse, but I believe that it reduces attack. Whenever anyone else on the battlefield takes damage, the cursed unit receives 50% of that damage. Oh, that's tasty. That's tasty. Whenever anyone else on the battlefield. So that's enemies as well. So say for example you curse Elmer, and that's going to be a problem. This will just be redundant if Elmer gets cursed. So maybe Elmer is gonna jump back in. But this is the same effect that that Ra has. So Ra will take damage based on your team. So if your team take damage, Ra will take the damage in the place. And Ra goes down very quickly. Ra goes down very quickly indeed. So yeah, I suspect as long as she can keep reapplying this curse, then Aiushtha is going to be really strong. If she can't keep reapplying this curse, yeah, the curse automatically transfers. Okay, reading the card explains the card. All right, Lawrence, fine, whatever. So, applies curse to one random target. Whenever anyone else on the battlefield takes damage, the cursed unit receives 50% of that damage. Say, for example, you have Dahlia, who does big AoE damage. That's going to be really strong. Yeah, that's going to be really strong. So when the cursed unit dies, the curse automatically transfers to another random enemy. Not bad at all. We'll take that. That's nifty, I would say. It's actually quite strong, but we'll see. All allies have 50% chance to lose 20% of their remaining HP. What? All allies. When this happens, they trigger a combo, chaining into their previous skill. Oh, right. Okay, so it doesn't say when. So all allies have 50% chance to lose 20% of their remaining HP. Is that when they take action? Is that when... Yeah, is that when they take action? Is that the start of the round? Is that the end of the round? You know, we need specifics on timings for me to determine if this is a good card or not. But all allies have 50% chance to lose 20% of their remaining HP. When this happens, they trigger a combo, chaining into their previous skill. And finally, so this is the third passive. For every one, so this is the Oath Force passive. For every percent of HP lost, Aiushtha gains equal attack. So, say for example, she lost 50% of her HP, she's going to get 50% attack. It's not bad actually. And for every percentage of damage dealt, she gains an equal percent of max HP. So, brother, what? For every percent of damage dealt, she gains equal percent of max HP. So, if, say, for example, she were to do 2,000 million damage, it's reasonable to assume that she might be able to do 2,000 million damage in the right circumstances. She would then gain 2,000 million HP. I think that's how that works. The lower her HP, the higher her leech rate, up to 300%. So that's not bad at all, actually. The leech rate, we've not seen a leech rate skill in quite some time. Leech rate, in case you don't know, is from the Deviant faction. So if I jump out of here, we jump into the Deviant synergy, jump into here, jump into you, and then click on you. Here we go. At the start of battle, each ally receives 3 stacks. Where's it gone? At the start of battle, increase the leech rate and attack of all allies by 20% and 30% respectively. What that means is when they do damage, they will heal that back. So that is why certain units. And if you run in 2 to 3 deviant on the team, or even 1 deviant on the team, your units will heal back as well. So it's just a little explanation on how that works. So she is a bit of a deviant unit as well. Not bad. Her rune skill grants 10%, 20%, and 30% leech rate, and when taking fatal damage, triggers 1 round of invincibility, doubles leech amount, and can only trigger once per battle. So this rune skill is going to be absolutely fantastic. What is that? I don't even want to know what that is. But I'll have a look here at the new skin. It is a fantastic looking skin. I think, or not a skin, but a new character. Looks very powerful, at least. So it took a while to load there, but it's because of the detail that we've got in here. So I usually getting this upgrade through the cosmos. I don't know how it's going to happen. Interested to find that out in the story, but we will see. So as you can see, Bastet, Aiushtha, Dorabella. That's why I'm saving Dorabella for last as well. Now I'm going to go and get another drink. I'll be back very shortly. Okay, so I am back. Okay, so I just read the first line of Dorabella. Why? Why do we need this in Ethereals? We don't need this in Ethereals. This is going to be gross. Okay, so Arcane Dorabella. Her ultimate randomly attacks all enemies 5 times. That's very similar to another unit that I know of, and that is very difficult to come across. Attacks all enemies 5 times. What a joke. Oh my goodness me. That's broken. Just that by itself randomly attacks all enemies 5 times. How can you randomly attack all enemies 5 times? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll have to see it in action. But I'm very excited about this, actually. Skill 1. Deals damage to frontline enemies. Easy enough. So she's going to attack all enemies 5 times in her ultimate and deals damage to frontline enemies in a secondary skill. Actually, bear with me 1 second. Sorry about that. So, yeah. Okay. All right. And then deals damage to frontline enemies. Not the best, in my opinion, that second skill, because it's not going to hit the major bosses in Rift Odyssey, in Rift Odyssey specifically. It's not going to hit those bosses, and in Celestial Trials as well. Not that you need it in Celestial Trials, not anymore, with thanks to Belt, but yeah, dealing damage to frontline enemies is okay. I would say it's probably the 3rd best. Backline enemies is most definitely better, and all enemies. Randomly attacking all enemies 5 times. I can't get over that line of text. That's weird. So, passive 1. All allied active damage is guaranteed to crit. The reason that crits have a percentage chance to hit, and usually very low, is because they do significantly more damage. If every attack is a crit, then it's just not special anymore, you know? Yeah, it's broken passive. So it's rubbish. Rubbish. Don't buy. The worst thing to ever happen. Don't buy it. Just joking. That is crazy. That is ridiculous. Oh my goodness me. It must be balanced. It must be. It must be. It must be. Probably. Guaranteed to crit. Oh my goodness me. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Each ally crit increases Dorabella's hit count by 1. So max 5. Extra count reset after Dorabella casts her ultimate. Okay. So the way this will work is Eudora, for example, Eudora will attack. She will do her ultimate on round 1. It will increase. It will increase this new Dorabella's hit count up to 5 already, and the reason for that is because Eudora hits 10 separate times. So Eudora is going to hit 10 different opponents, increase a crit each time. Probably pumping up Aiushtha and Elisha pumping up the rest of the team. Maybe even heals with Karnak. Maybe Amaterasu provides that increase of 100% to crit rate. Maybe you've already got your increase to crit damage. Sorry, you wouldn't need crit rate. Amaterasu's increase to crit damage by 100%. And then you've got your flaming points, which also every 1% increases crit damage of ultimates by 1. This is so broken. This is so much damage. You will need holy shields against... You will need some sort of holy protection against this damage. Oh my goodness, this is broken. Okay, so grants all allies active damage, 100% crit rate. Each ally crit triggers Dorabella to follow up with her ultimate, 100 times multiplier, max 2 times per round. What? Each ally crit triggers Dorabella to follow up with her ultimate. What? So she is only going to hit like one or two units randomly, unless Eudora has ultimated. But each ally crit max 2 times per round. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. This won't do that much damage. This ain't going to do that much damage. No, she's going to be rubbish. She's going to be rubbish. Don't summon. Don't summon. Just forget about her. Just don't have her on your team. She's just rubbish. I would never summon on this unit in my life. Ever. If I were you, I would never do that. I would never do that. Because if this gets released to the general public and, you know, everybody has a copy of this, ethereals are back in a big way. Anyway, so yeah, each crit triggers Dorabella to follow up with her ultimate. 100 times a multiplier. 100% multiplier, max 2 times per round. I bet, I reckon this max 2 times per round, I reckon they didn't have that at first. I reckon that was like 5 times per round, because they thought somebody needs to compete with Pandora. Somebody needs to compete with, Aphrodite. We need to compete with those units, because they could ultimate every single round. And they removed the limit from... from Nerissa as well. So Nerissa can ultimate as many times as people die. That's why she's become so strong recently, is because they removed that limit. She used to only be able to do it up to a maximum of 8 times, but a lot of units died per round, and eventually she just stopped doing what she needed to do. Now she doesn't. She does it consistently. I bet they had this at no max limit, and I reckon that she ultimated 10 times in the first round, because Eudora hits 10 times. As long as Eudora hits and is guaranteed to crit as the first passive, as long as she is guaranteed to crit, then Dorabella would have ultimated 10 times in the first round. Now, I think they did some testing. They tried moving it down to 5. This is an imaginary scenario in my mind, but I suspect this is how it went. They moved it down to 5, and then Dorabella ultimated 5 times, all guaranteed crits, all guaranteed crits, each time doing damage to all enemies, guaranteed crits, all enemies, 100% crit increase, or crit damage increase from, so 100% crit damage increase from Amaterasu, 100% crit damage, ultimate damage increase by the Pharaoh's sarcophagus, and then there's another one as well. I think it's the Frost Claw, or not the Frost Claw, the Dragon's Roar. That one, I think that one increases ultimate damage based on crits done. So every crit that is done, ultimate damage increases by 1%. So yeah, don't summon for her. She's rubbish. She's rubbish. Just don't do it. Oh, what? Passive 3. Each allied crit reduces target speed by 20. So if Eudora, for example, Eudora hits, say, the same target 3 times, each allied crit reduces target speed by 20. Is that permanent? Targets reduced to 0 speed are paralyzed for 3 rounds. This is in PvP only. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh. Okay, so this is the Oath Force passive. So you will need to get her up to 8 stars. Each allied crit reduces the target's speed by 20. Say, for example, Eudora. This is just a regular turn 1. So, you have, say, Hela on the team. You have Eudora, Elisha. Elisha's going to increase attack and HP based on crits done. You have guaranteed crits. Eudora is going to decrease enemy speed by 20. What you can do, and this is what's going through my mind at the moment, what you can do is you can use the Pharaoh's sarcophagus into another sorry about that, into another another recovery type relic, whatever, into the new relic that allows your back row to cast ultimates on round 1. So Eudora then casts her ultimate twice, dealing 20 crits, so getting your attack and HP up. Then, once the attack and HP are up from Elisha's passive, the speed of each of your opponents should be down by at least 20, because Eudora is pretty much guaranteed to hit all of your enemy units. If they survive, they're not going to take action because their speed's going to be reduced to 0. If Eudora hits an enemy 5 times, even if it's guaranteed crit with all of the crit multipliers, the crit damage multipliers in there, they're not going to survive. And if they do, and if it's Elmer's not going to take action. Ugh. So, rune skill. After acting, Dorabella increases all allies' defense and max HP by 20%, stacking up to 100 times. Oh, brother. 10 times per round. After taking action. After acting, oh. She just does everything. She just does everything. Oh my goodness me. What are we going to do about you? She is your go-to summon. What I would suggest, and she's even got the same hips as Behemoth. I love that. I love those hips. It's cool designs on up here as well, on her magic symbols in the back, and then her little tassels as well. Nice shoes. What are we gonna do about you? What are we going to do about you? I thought Odin was good. I thought Odin was good. I thought Odin was good, top dog for a long time because of the Holy Shield stuff. Doesn't even matter about this. That is so broken. Well, anyway, that is it from me. We've gone through all of the new units. There's so much more. There's so much more. All of the new relics, all of the new sacred beasts and all that. There's loads on here. There's loads on here. But oh my goodness me, what are we gonna do with you? I thought Bastet was good. Thought Aiushtha was good. What are we gonna do with you, Dorabella? Anyway, right, yes, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've had a great day and a good time listening to me. That was a wild ride. Felt like that Stephen McMahon meme. The that when reading through this passive. Oh, thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Good luck in whatever it is you are doing.